You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down.
You are watching the leaders in full immersion gaming, and this is the pregame show only on the NBL Network.
And we are live, folks. Season 26 getting underway tonight. It is a big season. It's the beginning of Madden 18. The cycle begins today with a great matchup we have. Week 1 action between the Denver Broncos and the San Diego Chargers. Thanks so much to everyone hanging out with us. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with our defending NBL Super Bowl champion and the commish himself, Bomber. Bomber, Madden 18 gets underway today. We've got a great game. We're so excited for this cycle, and it's we just got a lot of new stuff coming forward in the NBL Network.
Yeah, a lot of great things going on right now. A little break between college football. We got a big game coming up at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is going to lead you right into that. And some great, exciting Madden football for us in the NBL. Broadcast number 120, we got the Broncos, which is led by Dark Brawler, the owner, versus the LA Chargers, led by Gub, NBL Season 24 Super Bowl champion. So this should be a really good game.
Man, I'm not going to lie. It's going to take me a while to get used to everybody with their new teams. That team selection show, if you didn't check it out, check it out on the network, man. But everybody's moving around. Bomber, there's one consistency, though. You're sticking with the Detroit Lions. Lip stuck with the Pittsburgh Steelers. There's a lot of talk there. The two at the top, sticking with who they wanted to stick with. But so much change, so a lot of new faces. And I think that's the most interesting part about this season is seeing how everybody deals with a new team out of the box.
Absolutely. Finding out their play style with new personnel, new players on the team. But the hardest thing for me is the same as you. It's hard for me to remember who is who right now. It always takes me a couple weeks, and the older I get, you're adding another week to that. So in 2 to 3 years, man, it might take me a month or two to actually get my grounds right in my brain to say, okay, all right, this guy's over here, this guy's this guy. But right now I know Gub's the Chargers, Brawler's the Broncos. And it's going to be an exciting game, man. Gub was NBL Season 24 Super Bowl champion. He won with the Washington Redskins, the team that he built from the bottom up, the best linebacker core, I believe, in the history of the Madden Bomber League. So this could get real interesting tonight, and I'd like to see how he's going to develop this team.
All right, so we got a little change here on the NBL Network, and I'm throwing up this schedule here. This is our NBL Network schedule, and this is, pay no attention to the complete and total typo on the top. But anywho, this is basically how we're going to be running the network from now on, trying to get a little more regular schedule so you guys know when to expect your shows. So on Mondays, we're going to be releasing what's known as the NBL Network Update. It's when I will do a quick 2-3 minute video on YouTube. It'll be basically what to look forward to the week ahead, our NBL Live schedule, what podcasts are being released, and the top storylines that they will be talking about. On Fridays, every Friday, we will have a podcast release, alternating weeks between Commissioner's Corner and NBL Blitz. So Friday night, folks, if you're looking for our podcast, that's when they will be released. Saturday morning, Bomber, it's yours, building the franchise with the Detroit Lions. That'll be releasing Saturday mornings, and then Saturday night, just like tonight, that's going to be NBL Saturday night. It's our marquee matchup of the week. We're going to try to have one every Saturday and let you watch the best matchups. And then from now on, at least for this season, at 7 o'clock is when all of our NBL live games will be starting. An effort to sort of get these games in before primetime action, Bomber. Lots of NFL action and college football. We want to make sure that you guys get to watch as much of the big boys playing as you can. So we're sort of that warm-up. You can come here on the NBL Network and check out our NBL live games, and then head over to the TV and watch the big football games. A little more regularity here on the network, but we think this should clear things up.
Absolutely, and a big shout out to yourself. You approached me with this a couple weeks ago. I've been talking about this for a couple months, actually coming into this Madden 18 cycle and getting a little bit more of a hard schedule for us, what we got going on Friday, Saturday, and during the NBL live games. And we're going to work around these NFL marquee matchups along with the college football to provide a streaming experience during the time where football's not really on TV, and you can tune in and watch some great Madden Bomber League network shows and network live events.
So again, folks, hit that subscribe button so you know when we're live. We will, again, on those Mondays, we'll release the NBL Live when they are going to be on, what day of the week they are, but they'll all be starting at 7 o'clock, so nobody has to deal with what time will it be on. It's going to be 7 o'clock, folks, and I've just thrown up that NBL Live schedule, just put together a couple changes this year. First of all, weeks 15, 16, and 17, we're making those all flex games, so we will put on the best playoff matchups, the ones with the most playoff implications. But, Bomber, I got to say, I've looked over the schedule, and a big shout-out to my assistant network director on Isolated for helping put this together. We got some great matchups on the schedule. I'm looking at that Week 4 matchup, Patriots and Panthers, Timbo versus TFA, what I'm calling the Trash Talk Bowl. These two guys always in chat going after each other, and they finally get to meet on the field there in Week 4. That's going to be one of the fun matchups early in the NBL Live schedule.
Yeah, I think I overlooked that on the Commissioner Corner podcast. You can check out the archives on that. Commissioner Corner podcast just dropped on Friday. Building the Franchise Detroit Lions just dropped earlier today. So after this game, make sure you go and check those two out. I think I overlooked that game. I didn't realize. See, once again, it goes back to that same point that I'm having a hard time realizing who's who right now. But, man, that's going to be a rivalry game. The Carolina Panthers owner TFA at home versus the New England Patriots owner Timbo. There's some bad blood there from last cycle from the AFC playoffs. Two big teams. They were the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Kansas City Chiefs. And, man, that's going to be something to watch. That definitely is going to give us a little bit of a playoff feel and a little bit of a playoff intensity in the Madden Bomber League.
Yeah, I don't think we haven't overlooked that Week 8 matchup between your Detroit Lions and the Pittsburgh Steelers. A rematch of the Season 25 Super Bowl coming down in Week 8. Don't get too many regular season matchups like that. Bomber, there's a lot of time until Week 8. We know you've already played your Week 1 game, but are you maybe peeking ahead to Week 8? Maybe just a little bit and seeing that one down the line?
At this point, I'm just trying to keep it 1 week at a time. We got the New York Giants next in Week 2. But, yeah, man, I'm excited for it. I definitely looked on the schedule and said, man, that's a game right there, mid-season, precisely middle of the year. It's an opportunity to see where your team stands against one of the best in the league. And it's a good rivalry, man. It's a pretty strong rivalry. You got an AFC team, an NFC team. We hardly meet, but when we do, it's been in some big-time spots, and it's been in the Super Bowl. It's been big games throughout the regular season. So it has a lot of implications for us, and it lets us know where we stand as a unit right there during midseason.
All right, let's get to our game today, folks. And this one is a great matchup. AFC West battle between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Denver Broncos. The LA Chargers now owned by Gubb. Let's take a look at the player to watch for the Los Angeles Chargers. Gubb coming over. The Chargers playing in that soccer stadium. Phillip Rivers at the helm out of the box with the Los Angeles Chargers. And it'll be interesting to see, Bomber, where Gubb goes with the team. Gubb known as a very good team builder. We watched him do it with the Washington Redskins last cycle. Really out of the box, he took a team that maybe wasn't the best out of the box, but found a way to draft the right players and put together a team that performed well and won a Super Bowl in season 24. And now with a Los Angeles Chargers team with a defensive line we all know is very good. Joey Bosa on that line is an absolute beast to deal with. The offense is the big question mark as to whether Phillip Rivers can lead this team to score enough points to keep up with some of the high-powered talent in the AFC.
Yeah, a lot of questions about Phillip Rivers going into NBL Season 26, but for today's game and the opener, he's going head-to-head against Chad Kelly, so I'd say he is the best quarterback on the field. Guy came in 87 overall. You know, he hasn't really had much success in the Madden Bomber League in our 26 seasons, 4 years through 4 cycles of Madden. We haven't seen much of Phillip Rivers. Let's see if he can turn it around. Let's see if he can make something happen out of his career in the NBL, even though he's a 35-year-old veteran in the NFL.
On the flip side, the Denver Broncos, new owner Dark Brawler just into the league in the last week or so, taking over a Denver Broncos team. This defense is an absolute beast, and of course, their leader is Von Miller, linebacker, sitting there. He played pretty much every season. I think he played actually every season in the Madden 17 cycle. In the Madden 18 cycle, Von Miller, very good. They've got two great cornerbacks on the outsides to lock down wide receivers, but Von Miller is the key to stopping a rushing attack that's going to be coming at them with Melvin Gordon. It's going to be interesting to see how Denver handles a high-powered rushing attack.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's talk a little bit about Von Miller, though. Von Miller's our player to watch for Denver because he can get it done all over the field. They have a strong linebacker core, probably a linebacker core that more resembles what Gubb and his Washington Redskins had last Madden cycle. So I think Gov's going to be a little prepared to play against defense that kind of resembled he'll attack the weaknesses of the pass rush. When you send a lot of heat, you can get rid of the ball quickly, and you have to take advantage of that and just play a little bit of a numbers and mismatch game throughout this game. But I think Von Miller could have a huge stamp if Denver wants to win this game.
All right, we're about ready to send it out to the game. Chargers and Broncos. Bomber, we're going to have to get your predictions here. And this could be a real, I mean, it's week one. We know how much week one can really get forgotten about late in the year. But at the end of the day, this could be something that sets the tone for this division, a very competitive division. These are two teams that are very talented. Who do you like in this one? Are the LA Chargers and new owner Gubb going to come away with a big win, or are the Denver Broncos and Dark Brawler coming in first game in the NBL? Is he going to pull off a win over the season 24 NBL Super Bowl champions?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with, I'm going to say, man, I like the Broncos on paper, but I'm going to have to go with the Chargers, and I think they pull away 20-13 over Denver today. I think Phillip Rivers goes on a final drive and kind of seals the game with a big touchdown, doesn't leave enough time for Denver to come back. I really have a lot of questions with Chad Kelly starting at quarterback for the Denver Broncos. I think it's a little early. I think it's a little early to go to him. I think there was better options out there, but they believe in him. They want to go with the rookie. I think that could come back to bite him.
Chad Kelly starting for the Denver Broncos. Los Angeles, the veteran Phillip Rivers. We'll see who can come out on top, folks. It's season 26 getting underway right now. Coming up next, it's an AFC West battle looking for the early edge. It's the LA Chargers and the Denver Broncos. It's coming up right now here on NBL Live.
My name is Rex Dixon.
Jake Stein.
Clint from EA Sports.
You're watching NBL.
You're watching the NBL Network.
And you're watching the MBLN Network.
Empty backfield for Atkins. He's going to be dropping back to pass here on fourth down. He's looking deep over the middle. He has a man. It's Brandon Cooks who catches it, makes a man miss.
Oh, that's
Woodard is dropping back. He's got open over the middle.
Wow. That big playmaker ability as he finds him again.
Into the end zone. Another touchdown. The Madden 18 cycle officially underway, folks. Season 26 kicks off tonight here on NBL Live. It's an AFC West matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Denver Broncos. We appreciate everyone tuning in here to NBL Live. I'm OSU, and I'm hanging out with my man, Bomber. Bomber, the cycle officially underway. We waited over and over for this game. We talked about it throughout our Madden 18 EA Access tournament. For the last couple weeks of the Madden 17 tournament, it's finally here, and NBL season finally underway here on NBL Live.
Absolutely. This is a big game. This is a big opportunity for both teams to start the season off on the right foot. You got the young rookie Chad Kelly trying to prove something in Denver, and the old veteran trying to show he's still got a little bit left in the tank in Los Angeles. That's Phillip Rivers, and we're going to see where the chips fall and see if kind of the underdog can beat the old wily vet today.
Yeah, and so it's going to be the Los Angeles Chargers starting with the ball, led by Phillip Rivers, but don't forget the number of weapons this team has. Melvin Gordon in the backfield, Keenan Allen, star wide receiver. This offense can get going. The big question mark is on the offensive line, if they're going to be able to stop this very potent Denver defense, as it's going to be Phillip Rivers under center, two tight ends, two wide receivers. Melvin Gordon in the backfield. First down, it's a handoff to Gordon, trying to find something going up the middle, and nothing doing there. A loss of one on the play. And Bomber, I think it'd be safe to say that for the Los Angeles Chargers, if they're going to win this game, they have to win the battle in the trenches.
Yeah, they do. Absolutely. They got to get the running game going. That's the way this team is going to be built on. We're going to have to see a lot of Melvin Gordon and a lot of success from Melvin Gordon as well.
Another handoff to Gordon over the right side. And, well, he gets More than he did on the first rush because he lost a yard on the first one, got nothing there. So the running game being shut down early by Denver. And let's not forget how good this Denver pass defense is. Two very good cornerbacks on the outside led by Chris Harris and, of course, TJ Ward at safety. We'll see if they're able to stop this passing attack as Rivers can set up a screen to Melvin Gordon as he cuts it back up the inside, and I think he gets enough for the first down down to the 37-yard line. And Bomber, that's something we don't see too often. That halfback screen designed to go outside. Gordon recognizing the pressure coming from the outside, cuts it back inside and gets the first down.
Yeah, right there. You know, you look at what happened. They have a little conservative play call on 3rd and 11, looking to just see what they can pick up. They end up getting the first down. That's what really kills defenses right there. As a defense, you got to get them off the field on 3rd and 11.
First intended to hand off to the backup running back. It's Brandon Oliver. He's got a big hole. Oh, no, Brandon Oliver. He's trying to make a name for himself behind Melvin Gordon. He houses that one, 63 yards for the score. I know Melvin Gordon is the lead back, Bomber, but man, oh man, Brandon Oliver showed a lot on that run.
Absolutely. What a run. And that's not even a starter. Melvin Gordon's got to be looking over his shoulder now and going, yo, hold on just a second. You know, I just had a nice screen run. Let's not forget about that as a touchdown from the backup halfback for the Los Angeles Chargers and puts them on the board 7-0. And now we're going to get to see the rookie Chad Kelly, who everybody's been interested in. You've seen him on Twitter. It's been trending a little bit on the NBL circuit right now on Twitter. They're talking Chad Kelly. How is he starting right now? We're going to get to see what he's really like. They really loved him in training camp.
And something that Denver probably didn't want to do is put their young quarterback starting his first game here in the NBL in an early hole, 7-0 off of Brandon Oliver's huge run, 63 yards for the score. Now Chad Kelly's going to come out, shotgun formation, 4 wide receivers, and it looks like he's going to hand it off here on first down and nothing going early in the running game. And we've already got someone down on the play. We'll get word on that injury. But the running game is going to be key, Bomber. If they're going to keep Kelly comfortable in this game, getting some sort of rushing attack early will get some pressure off the young quarterback.
Yep, and that's what they're going to try to do. 2nd and 9 here. Definitely a passing down if you're the Denver Broncos. They're going to need a heavy attack from C.J. Anderson today, as Jamal Charles, I believe, is out with an injury.
Correct.
So they're going to have to go with C.J. Anderson. And they love Jamal in the preseason. They had high hopes for him. I think his career might be essentially over. He's going to miss about 8 weeks. He's 30 years old. I just don't see much left in him.
Play action pass. Kelly drawing back to pass. He has a man over on the right
throw.
side, and it is complete.
Throw.
He floats that one right into the bread basket, and Chad Kelly, 35 yards, his first completion at the helm of the Denver Broncos. And Bomber, if the Broncos are going to see more of that from Chad Kelly, I think we might have a new star in the making.
Dropping a dime, passes it to number 11 wide receiver Carlos Henderson, a 3rd-round pick in the NFL draft this year, 5'11", 199. So rookie to rookie a little bit for Chad Kelly as he overthrows another pass.
Lucky that wasn't intercepted. It looked like the linebacker was right in the lane there. That was Perriman in the lane, and just didn't get his hands up, didn't get the old mitts up there to get that interception. It falls to the ground, incomplete. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Denver Broncos, looking to answer the early 63-yard touchdown from Brandon Oliver. It's Kelly in the backfield. 2nd and 10, handoff to C.J. Anderson over the left side, and nothing doing there. 2-yard loss. This L.A. Chargers defensive line very good, as we're getting word that it was Evans, the cornerback. He's going to be out for the game they're saying broken ribs. X-rays were positive for broken ribs, so that's a loss for this Chargers secondary. But that defensive line with Joey Bosa, it's going to be tough to get some rushes going in this game.
Yeah, definitely a pass-rushing defensive line as well. That's why I think the loss of Jamal Charles really hurt this team, especially in the passing game, as they find C.J. Anderson there, and he takes it up for a few yards, comes up just short, it looks like, of the 3rd down. Going to be 4th and 2. Imagine if that was Jamal Charles there. I'm going to ask the guys in the chat, what do you think that happens there? A little juke to the outside. He can find a way to pick up an extra 2 to 3 yards on a little screen play, and I think that's the big difference between him and the rest of the halfbacks on this Denver Broncos offense.
The kick is up, and it is good, and Denver responds with a field goal of their own. Bomber, if you had to give Chad Kelly, the young quarterback starting his first game, if you had to give him a grade on that first drive, he had one overthrow, he had a nice pass. What would you give the young quarterback to start this game?
Is it a 1 to 10?
Yeah, we'll do 1 to 10. 10 being the second coming of Joe Montana.
Okay, so 1 to 10.
Or John Elway in Denver.
Let's give him a 5 right now. He dropped a nice little dime in the bucket, but it wasn't. He had all the time in the world. He just lobbed it up in the air and let his receiver run underneath it. It was rookie to rookie. Targets him again on a little bit of a step-up bullet pass. He completely misthrows that one. So I'd say about a 5 of 10 right now on that first drive. And they come away with 3 points, so they can't be upset.
Philip Rivers, he throws one, finds Henry right over the middle. It is complete down to the 45-yard line. 7-3, Chargers on top here in week 1 of NBL season 26. First game here of the Madden 18 cycle. We appreciate everyone tuning in here to NBL Live. NBL Saturday night going down. A little warm-up before the great college football action we have tonight. Number 1 Alabama, number 3 Florida State. That one's going to be a fun game. And we are hoping that we can warm you up with a little football action. Here's Melvin Gordon trying to break the tackle. Gets up to the 30-yard line. Nice run there. First big hole for Gordon. He gets up to the 30-yard line and first down.
It's a top 10 rushing defense coming into this game, but it doesn't look like it thus far as the Los Angeles Chargers have been able to throw at will. But I really like that tight end Hunter Henry for Los Angeles. I think he can be a big-time player in this offense. You got Keenan Allen. You got the rookie on the right side in the number 2 wide receiver position, as Melvin Gordon gets lit up by Von Miller, a player to watch for the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, you're talking about him in pregame. Von Miller, still a leader on this defense out of the box. Miller is going to be a key for this Denver Broncos team. So he's able to get a big tackle there. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 9 for the Chargers, looking to extend their lead. They're up 7-3 early in this game. They've had some nice success on the ground early. Gordon, 3 carries, 14 yards. Brandon Oliver came in and broke a 63-yard touchdown run on the first drive of the game, and the defense able to hold Denver to a field goal. And now Philip Rivers and company looking to take advantage. He drops back to pass here on 2nd and 9. He looks right over the middle, little sit route to Williams at the 16-yard line, and a big first down for the Los Angeles Chargers. They move into the red zone. The rookie Mike Williams out of Clemson. This dude is big. He is athletic. And he's got great hands, something you see going away from these taller wide receivers who just want to go up and jump for the ball. This guy's got soft hands and can make the intermediate routes work as Rivers dropping back to pass here on 1st and 10. The rush comes right up the middle like a train running right down the middle of the field. Chubb with the sack. It's going to drop him down for a 9-yard loss. Going to bring up a 2nd and long.
2nd and long for Los Angeles here. That means it's Philip Rivers' time. Are they going to go conservative with another screen play? Or are they going to look to drive it down the field? The defense is going to be ready for it this time, and we know those Denver Broncos cornerbacks, arguably the best in the Madden Bomber League.
Gordon's going to take the carry here on 2nd and 19. He's going to get a good chunk of that back. 7 yards on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 12 from the 18-yard line. Bomber, you got Keenan Allen on one side. You got the young Mike Williams on the other side. Both big targets in the red zone. Do you risk trying to throw it and get another touchdown, or do you stay conservative and answer a field goal with a field goal?
Well, the play calling thus far has been pretty conservative. They were just in a 2nd and 19. They ran the ball. I could see them throwing something underneath here and trying to allow their receiver to pick up the yards, but not force it. But they do find a dig across the middle of the field. Wow. No, that I don't think that was Mike Williams. That looked like a...
Oh, it's another Williams.
Oh, another Williams on the team.
You're killing me with 2 Williams.
Or was that Mike Williams?
No, that was 2 Williams, not Mo Williams. I formation here for Philip Rivers on 1st and goal. It's a handoff to Brandon Oliver. Had the touchdown earlier. Boy, that's a nice stat line if you ever want one. 2 rushes, 65 yards, and a touchdown. He only gets 2 on that one. Von Miller with the tackle to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Yeah, this is Brandon Oliver time. They want to bring in the big halfback, let him run up the middle, try to utilize him that way, and use Melvin Gordon every 3 downs. But once you get inside the 5, you got to give it to your big halfback as they go against conventional wisdom and
right over the left side. Wow, what a job there, breaking the arm tackle, and LA is going to extend their lead 13-3. Melvin Gordon showing why he is one of the top backs here in the NBL as the extra point is up, and it is good. Bomber, talk about Brandon Oliver, the bruiser of this 2-headed monster as they get inside the red zone. They bring in Melvin Gordon. They see something they like. Philip Rivers changes up the play, gives it to Gordon, and I don't care who you are. Gordon may not be as big and as stocky as Brandon Oliver, but you're not going to bring down Melvin Gordon with just an arm tackle.
Yeah, Melvin Gordon is still a talented halfback, and he's a guy that can get it done, even inside the 5. But we've seen them come out in those big sets, and they like to use Melvin Gordon. They like to use 2 backs, give him a little bit of a breather. And they had it originally called a pass play. They switched it to a run play, and Melvin Gordon just pretty much walks in. And it's really going to hurt the rating of the defensive rushing defense for these Denver Broncos. But now, one thing you didn't want to do is get in a hole with a rookie like Chad Kelly leading this team. But yet here they are down 13.
And Chad Kelly, nice job there on the defensive line.
What was that?
Did somebody get their hand up on that play, or did he just straight up spike that into the back of one of his offensive linemen's helmets?
I think he pulled back a little bit, a little indecisive from the rookie Chad Kelly, Mr. Irrelevant, last pick in the NFL draft.
Wow.
Not too sure about that throw. I feel like he just kind of palmed it and dropped it.
And they're trying to get something going on the ground with C.J. Anderson, and Anderson doesn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Another loss of 1 as it looks like we're going to get to the end of the first quarter. LA up early 14-3 in this game. And Bomber, LA hasn't really done anything extraordinary. There haven't been any some spectacular plays. It's just been a matter of it looks like LA is prepared for this game, and Denver looks completely shell-shocked here at home.
Yeah, kind of expected. I mean, the Denver offense, the one thing they need from this great defense, I mean, arguably the best three-corner trio in the Madden Bomber League right now. You got Talib, you got Roby, and then you obviously got the star at number 1 on your cornerback. Yeah, so, I mean, it's something that you have is Chad Kelly right there. Wow, stepping up and finding the rookie again, number 11. We spoke about him earlier, and that's just pretty impressive throw right there. So maybe I'm going up. Munchies gave him a B+ on the first drive. I was at a 5 out of 10. I'm kind of at a 7.2 right now. 7.2. I see improvement from Chad Kelly. I'm starting to see, yeah, this guy can make all the throws.
That pocket was closing around him, and Henderson, that was a great job by the offensive line holding up this LA Chargers defensive line that is very talented. But he stepped up in the pocket, delivered a strike to Henderson, and they're down on the 46-yard line. Kelly is going to get off another one. It is complete, and this one is going to go up past the 30-yard line to the 29. Kelly 4 of 6 to starting this game. 14-3, LA on top. He finds Thomas right over the left side. Demaryius Thomas, can't forget about him on this Denver Broncos offense.
Yeah, Demaryius Thomas at number 2 right now in the depth chart. Emmanuel Sanders number 1 with Henderson in the slot. Henderson's been the favorite target thus far, but those two top wide receivers at any play, one big play, they can take it to the house.
Handoff to Anderson. He goes down. I think we're going to get a face mask, though. It is indeed a face mask against Denzel Perryman. So give him a free 15 yards up to the 14-yard line, and all of a sudden, we were talking about if Denver can answer, if Denver was a little shell-shocked here at home, and Chad Kelly has led them down to the red zone as he breaks the huddle. 3 wide receivers once again over to the left side of that formation. 1 tight end, Green on the right side of that formation. And C.J. Anderson in the backfield here on 1st and 10. 5:07 and counting. Chad Kelly dropping back to pass here on 1st and 10. Looks over to the left side. He has a man. It's in the end zone. Emmanuel Sanders with the catch and the spin. And Chad Kelly rifled that one into double coverage. And he found his number 1 wide receiver, Emmanuel Sanders, with a big catch, and Denver answers big time with a touchdown, cutting it to 14-10.
Okay, I may have been wrong. Abe Munchie's in the chat right now saying Chad Kelly, solid A for his debut, if he continues to be this consistent. A solid A. Wow, I didn't think that was even possible coming into this game. I feel like the Chargers' defense could have held them at bay, and then their offense gets ahead, and it forces them into passing situations, and it did. And Chad Kelly seems to be answering the bell right now and making the right throws at the right time, and he's not afraid to drive the ball down the field.
Chad Kelly, Mr. Irrelevant. He's not irrelevant anymore, folks. He comes in and leads Denver down to a big touchdown to answer the Chargers. And now 14-10, Denver's defense needs to step up against this very potent LA Chargers offense. It's going to be 3 tight ends to over to the right side, 1 to the left. Phillip Rivers dropping back. He's going to hand off to Melvin Gordon going over the left side. He's got a lot of room over there. He's past the 40. He's trying to make man miss, but he's going to be taken down at the 46-yard line, taken down from behind by Aqib Talib. But another big run for Melvin Gordon and Bomber. This Chargers offense, if Melvin Gordon gets rolling, look out. They're going to score a lot of points and in a hurry.
4 minutes and 45 seconds left in the second quarter, roughly, and you're just seeing a rushing attack that can't be stopped, a passing attack that can't be stopped.
By Keenan Allen.
One hand. Wow. What a catch by Keenan Allen right there.
Phillip Rivers got a little intriguing throwing motion, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I mean, it's not the prettiest, it's not the fastest, but it ain't the slowest. So there's some upside in it as well. Top to bottom, Phillip Rivers somewhere in the middle. Quarterbacks right now, but in the right system, he can thrive and be a little pretender on a top 10 quarterback in the league. He can surprise some people. He can make all the throws, and he has the intelligence and the patience to make the right read, and that's what they need in Los Angeles right now for them to be successful.
Rivers, another good read there. Starting out this game 6 of 6. He dumps this one underneath to Melvin Gordon. Going to bring up a 2nd and 4 for this Chargers offense. And we appreciate everyone tuning in to NBL Live. Bomber, this is broadcast number 120.
Yeah, crazy.
Kicking off season 26 here in the NBL. I'm Oshi. I'm hanging out with my man Bomber as we're watching some AFC West action here. Week 1 of season 26. Madden 18 cycle getting underway as Gordon finds nothing on that one. Nice tackle there by Marshall in the middle of that defense. It's going to be a big 3rd and 4, and the Chargers, they're looking to get a touchdown here, but if Denver can hold them to a field goal, all of a sudden you got a little momentum rolling the way of the home team as Chad Kelly was able to get a touchdown on that last drive. Now needing his defense to step up big. 3rd and 4. It's going to be Philip Rivers dropping back to pass here on 3rd down. He looks over the middle, a little Texas route there. He finds Watt, and he gets the first down to the 16-yard line. The Chargers move into the red zone once again.
Yeah, that was a crucial 3rd down. You got to stop that. He called the right defense. The angle route up the backfield ended up getting the first down. The chat asking right now, Carolina Panthers fan asking, has anybody been hurt yet? I think we had somebody go down, and they're going to be gone for the game. I can't remember.
Yes.
It was one of the cornerbacks for who?
The Chargers.
San Diego has a cornerback down that's going to miss the game. I don't know if it's going to be any longer than that. Broken ribs. So we've
already seen ribs take out players for 5 or 6 weeks, so we'll see how that affects the injuries. Bob, that's one of the storylines from our preseason here in the NBL. A lot of big injuries going down in the preseason as it's going to be a pistol formation for Rivers and the Chargers. 3 wide receivers over the left. It's going to be a draw play for Brandon Oliver. He breaks the tackle but takes a big hit at the 9-yard line. He's going to fight forward to cut it to a 3rd and 3. Yeah, but Bomber, the preseason, it took its toll on some teams. We saw some big players go down. Jamal Charles, Marshawn Lynch went down. Teams trying to stay healthy, and depth is getting tested early in season 26.
Yeah, you know, there's always those injuries that come out. Even the New Orleans Saints, they've got hit the worst of any team in the league right now, and they're definitely hurting. But you have to adapt, you have to overcome, and you have to find a nice piece or go back to somebody. Or go back to your old wily veterans like Philip Rivers just did right there and find Antonio Gates. So you got to squeeze some time out of young players, and then you got to have the veterans come in and give you a little time while your guys heal up, and that's football. That's how it is, you know. You got to have guys step up, and that's what really makes this a team sport. So I'm interested to see if these teams with injuries can overcome their situation and still turn a negative essentially into a positive.
21-10 Chargers back on top. Rivers finding Gates in the end zone as a big hit taken there at the 19-yard line. How many times do you think Philip Rivers has found Antonio Gates for a touchdown in their careers? That's just one of the most reliable connections you'll see across the league.
Yeah, and when they get inside the red zone, that's the key there. That's when that big target and his athleticism, he used to play basketball. He has really great footwork. He's not no Bill Cartwright out there, I'll tell you that, man. He's more like a Nakeem Olajuwon as far as footwork, and he can find the open space, and he can catch in traffic. He can do all big things. There's a big sack right there.
Joseph Bosa getting in the backfield. Oh, man, if you're in the AFC West, dealing with Joey Bosa on a week-to-week basis, that dude is quick, coming out of Ohio State, 2nd year. He's looking to be even better, and he has just continued to be a monster on the defensive line as we've hit the 2-minute warning. Chad Kelly getting introduced to Joey Bosa early. I have a feeling this won't be the first time he finds Joey Bosa in his backfield.
Yeah, and how pathetic has this Denver Broncos defense been? I mean, talking about exceptional defensive players, Denver has a lot of them, but they've already given up 20 points, and the first half isn't even over.
Kelly dropping back to pass here on 2nd and 20. He's going to find C.J. Anderson. Little angle route underneath. He gets 11 of that back, cutting it down to a 3rd and 10. Yeah, we thought Denver's strength would be their defense, especially with that very talented secondary, but Philip Rivers, again, not an elite quarterback anymore as he gets up in age. He has torn up this defense, and 21 points by the LA Chargers here in the first half. We'll see what sort of halftime adjustments are made for the Denver Broncos as Kelly's in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right, and C.J. Anderson in the backfield with him as Kelly drops back to pass here on 3rd and 10. Only a 4-man rush. He finds a man over the middle. It is Demarius Thomas down to the 36-yard line. Chad Kelly continuing to slice and dice. Bomber, this guy, he does not look like the last pick in the NFL draft. This guy's looking strong.
Yeah, one thing I'm noticing, though, about Chad Kelly, I'm going to ask the chat guys, have you noticed a lot of these passes over the middle of the field? You know, take away the middle of the field, make him make them throws to the outside and make him have to really make those decisions and flood the defense and see if he can make the right choice. But right now, he's just throwing to what's right in front of him, and it seems to be paying off for him.
1st and 10. It's going to be handoff to Anderson right up the middle. He's going to get to the 38-yard line. C.J. Anderson, 5 carries, 4 yards. And Bomber, I'd put the blame on C.J. Anderson, but this Denver offensive line really has not opened up any holes for the replacement to Jamal Charles, and you can't really get anywhere if your offensive line doesn't help you out a little bit.
Yeah, you can't. And this is what I said. Okay, so they picked up Jamal Charles this offseason. He was going to play for him. He was playing phenomenal in the preseason. He gets an injury. He's out 8 weeks. He's 30 years old. But this is an offensive line I think he could have success with, both in the running game and the passing game as they lob it up there. Almost intercepted as he was looking for Emmanuel Sanders. Chad Kelly, so some pros on what he's done so far and some cons. Pros, he's really put the ball up there and allowed his receivers to make some plays. So for a wide receiver, those are the kind of quarterbacks you like to play for. But some cons are he's throwing to these receivers that essentially have defenders draped all over them. So he's got to have a little bit of a balance with that and try to look for the open man and not just throw it up into coverage.
Nobody in the backfield with Chad Kelly now empty backfield. 5 wide receivers out there for Kelly and the Broncos on 3rd and 9. Dropping back to pass here on 3rd down all the time in the world. He's looking deep over the left side. Flag on the play. That one was well covered. And we're going to get a holding call on the center, and that one's going to be declined. And Denver is going to be forced to punt the ball. And back-to-back 4 verticals calls. I don't think that one looks like the old play. That looks like the 2nd down play. But both times trying to stretch the field here with under 30 seconds to go, Bomber. Do you like the call of them trying to push it downfield? Or would you rather see them do what they've been doing all game, which is slicing and dicing underneath and getting them into scoring range?
Yeah, that definitely was the 2nd down call. The next play obviously had a post on it. That's what he was looking for. I wouldn't have liked to see the 4 verticals on 2nd down. I don't like to throw it up and have my receiver make a play. I want to see on 2nd down we pick up some yards, Chad Kelly step up in the pocket and hit the open man, as opposed to trying to throw it up for the guarded man and hope your receiver makes a play. I think the offense was moving fairly well, and they kind of got stagnant because they kind of got a little too aggressive down the field.
See if the Los Angeles Chargers can get anything going here on 1st and 10. He finds Hunter Henry over the left side, 14 seconds and counting. 13 seconds, LA's going to use a timeout, 2 timeouts to go. And if there's any indication of if you've been watching this game, the Chargers are going to get more points out of this drive because this Denver defense has not found a way to stop Phillip Rivers and company. He has been able to do whatever they want as well as on the ground here on 1st and 10. 4 wide receivers, 3 over to the right, 1 to the left. And he's got Melvin Gordon in the backfield. Phillip Rivers taking the snap here on 1st and 10, and he's going to try to throw it over to the slot receiver, and lucky that one wasn't intercepted. A dangerous throw. 9 seconds to go here on 2nd and 10. Bomber, if you're the Chargers, are you even thinking about pushing this downfield? We saw them do it on that play, but you've got an 11-point lead, and the last thing you want to do is give up something like a pick 6.
Yeah, that play right there is probably going to change the way they approach this next down. 4 verticals. We saw Hunter Henry, the tight end, lined up wide left on that play. A little interesting as here he's in the slot standing up. Utilizing him all over the field, man. They really love his ability to get down the field and be able to play slot receiver if necessary.
That one is complete to Mike Williams running the drag over, a little dig route on the right side. 3 seconds to go. LA takes the timeout. Ball's on the 46-yard line. They have an opportunity just to throw one up to the end zone as Denver's surely going to be dropping everyone back on this play. 21-10. LA on top, looking to go in. Maybe extend this lead. You never know what'll happen here as Rivers. He waits for everyone, and he's going to toss this one up to the end zone, and it's batted around, falls to the ground, almost.
Did you see Keenan Allen on that play? He tried to make a one-handed catch over 3 defenders.
Bold move.
And bring that in. I mean, that's going for the glory right there.
He wanted that Sports Center top play here in week 1 of the NBL season 26. 21-10, LA on top early in this game. Denver's going to get the ball. Bobber, the Denver offense has actually been pretty good. Their defense, though, has been unable to stop anything that LA is doing. Is there an adjustment you see that the Denver defense can do to get something on the defensive side and get off the field?
First and foremost, Denver needs to stop the rush. If they can stop the run, then they can get them into passing situations that makes it a lot easier to defend. Right now, that balanced attack is really killing them because they're able to stay with the run game throughout all 3 downs, and they're moving the chains.
1st and 10, and Chad Kelly looking for the corner route on the left side, but those sidelines will creep up on you when you're running those deep corner routes. It's going to be an incomplete pass and bring up a 2nd and 10. If you missed the pregame, Chad Kelly starting this game for the Denver Broncos. Mr. Irrelevant. He has become relevant here in the Mile High City. And he's got a hole to dig himself out of. 11-point lead for Los Angeles here in the 3rd quarter. 2nd and 10. Kelly dropping back to pass all the time in the world. And a nice job there throwing that ball over to the right side. He threw that ball before the receiver came out of his break. Just floated it in between the zone. Henderson with his 3rd catch of the day. And that's a veteran throw from the very not veteran Chad Kelly.
That's the rookie-to-rookie connection. Chad Kelly to Carlos Henderson. Henderson, 5'11", 199 from LA Tech, 3rd-round pick. He already has 3 catches in on that play. It looked like Chad took a little bit off of it and just kind of allowed his receiver to come underneath it on that dig as he stumbled out of the break.
1st and 10. Kelly dropping back to pass here once again. They're letting him air it out. That one is intercepted. What a pick by Verrett. Man-to-man on the outside. And the first interception of Chad Kelly's career is thrown to the Los Angeles Chargers. And that one just came down to the defender just made a better play. The man coverage was there. And LA gets the first turnover of the game.
You know the saying, when in doubt, corner route. Not anymore. It's not happening anymore in Madden 18. As a big interception by Jason Verrett, he makes a great play on the ball in man coverage.
Phillip Rivers dropping back to pass here on 1st and 10. The rush gets there. Ball comes out. It's going to be an incomplete pass. And, Bomb, that's something we did not see in the first half. This Denver defensive line is getting dominated up front by the offensive line. They've been able to hold Phillip Rivers' pocket relatively clean, and he's really faced no pressure today.
Yeah, I can only recall a couple times they've got to him as right there, but they've been having such a nice balance of running and passing and running and passing that has kept the defense on its toes. When you're blitzing, they're getting rid of it quick. When you don't blitz, they're running a draw, they're running some kind of handoff, and they're just getting so many yards. It seems like they're just almost 2 or 3 steps ahead. And as a Broncos fan right now, I'm frustrated. I'm doing everything I can. I'm switching TVs. I'm trying to get my momentum back. I believe in all those kinds of things help as a fan, and I know somebody at home right now, a Broncos fan, is doing the same thing.
Phillip Rivers coming out forward, ball just shy of midfield on the 48-yard line. Play action pass, looks like they're setting up a screen. It's a little shovel screen to Williams, and he's got some room over there, so he's going to have the first down break-in tackles. He gets to the 40-yard line. Mike Williams out of Clemson, the rookie. He's going to be a big part of this Chargers offense on the opposite side of Keenan Allen. And so far, Bomber, it's more of the same. The Denver Broncos defense finding no success, and LA's just working down the field at will.
Yeah, and this is almost, like I said, 3 steps ahead, running a little jailbreak screen right there. If you send any kind of heat, that's usually you get some hit on the quarterback, but they didn't, and it just really allowed them to make the right play over the left side of the field.
As Keenan Allen comes down with a big catch there on the 18-yard line. The LA Chargers back in the red zone. Phillip Rivers 12 of 15, 164 yards to start this game. They've had a mix of the rushing attack and the passing attack. And we want to take a moment here as we're going into the red zone. We're here in the third quarter, folks. 21-10 LA on top. It's going to be a play action pass. Phillip Rivers looking to almost intercepted. He was trying to find, it looked like that was Hunter Henry, and he's lucky that one wasn't picked off. Make a
play, defense. That's essentially where they're at right now if you're Denver, and they should have jumped that route. That route definitely should have been jumped. If I'm Denver, I'm thinking, well, that was an opportunity we had there, and that could have gone pick 6.
Yeah, there's a lot of green grass ahead of him. Instead, it falls to the ground. 2nd and 10. 2 tight ends on the right side. 1 wide receiver. It's Mike Williams over on the left side. Melvin Gordon in the backfield as Gates gets split out to the right side. Phillip Rivers under center here on 2nd and 10. He's going to hand it off to Melvin Gordon right up the middle, and he's got a big hole. Give him 9 yards on that one, up to the 11-yard line. We're about 3rd and 2, and while we have a moment, we want to give a big shout-out to our pregame sponsor and our graphics sponsor. That's web3ks.com. They do that overlay you see here on NBL Live. They do a ton of other graphics for us across the network. All of our network shows using web3ks.com's graphics. So if you or anyone you know needs graphics done for an affordable price, head over to web3ks.com. They are the leaders in affordable graphic design. Big 3rd down here for the Denver defense, needing a stop on 3rd and 2. They do get that stop. Gordon brought down at the 10-yard line, and it looks like Gordon is down. He took a big hit. Oh, and it'll be interesting to see what sort of injury comes from that one, as Gordon has to be helped off the field. We'll get you word when we find out. But a big stop there for the Denver Broncos, and maybe even a bigger loss than not getting that first down if Melvin Gordon is out for an extended period of time, as LA extends their lead 24-10. But, Bomber, how big is it going to be if Melvin Gordon can't play for any sort of extended period of time?
Yeah, that's big for their offense. They got Oliver, obviously, as their backup, and he had a big run earlier, but that's not what you want to live by. You like to have that 2-back set where you're getting, 3 carries to 1 carry. That's kind of like how they like to do it. And is he coming back?
It's not. He will not return for the game, but they're saying it's a bruised sternum. Should be back for the next game. We've already seen one guy go down with broken ribs. So if you're a LA Chargers fan, big sigh of relief that Melvin Gordon should be okay. And in a 24-10 game, Bomber, there's still a lot of time left, but if you're LA, you feel pretty much in charge of this one, and losing Melvin Gordon, probably don't want to risk bringing him back.
Yeah, and he's important not only to your run game, but to your pass game as well, because his running game success allows for Phillip Rivers to get the short game going, as a big hit by number 22 of the Denver Broncos, of the Los Angeles Chargers, laying it down on C.J. Anderson as he goes down. Now here's my situation right here. You're down 4, you held them to 3. That's a positive. It's 2 scores. Let's get it back. Let's establish a running game. and let's get the passing game underneath intermediate going again so we can open up this defense.
2nd and 8 is going to be a handoff to C.J. Anderson. He finally has some room. The edge was sealed, the little stretch run. It goes for 10 yards. C.J. Anderson, as you can see, nothing going early. 7 carries for 17 yards, but he finally finds something there. And this crowd getting back into the game. They finally stopped LA, didn't let them in the end zone. And now with a touchdown here, they can cut it back to a 7-point game. Chad Kelly in the offense comes out of the huddle. He's got 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end on the left side of that formation. First attempt is going to be a toss play to C.J. Anderson, and they give most of it back as he loses 3 yards on that one. This running game cannot get going early. They've had success throwing the ball, though. Bomber, are you surprised they're continuing to give the ball to C.J. Anderson?
Yeah, a little bit. You had 2 successful runs. I thought you set up the passing game there. Maybe a little play action with Chad Kelly. I think you would have got the linebacker to bite. Could have opened up the middle of the field. Instead, they decide to stay with the run. It says more how they feel about Chad Kelly right now.
2nd and 13. Looks like they're setting up a little tight end screen or a fullback screen, and just a stone-cold drop on that one. And maybe that's why the fullback doesn't touch the ball a whole lot, as he had a lot of blockers and a lot of open space, and he took his eye off the ball and puts his team in a hole at the 3rd and 13.
3 runs in a row for the Denver Broncos, and then followed up with a fullback screen drop by the fullback. Now they're in a 3rd and 13. See, this play calling isn't doing anything for your quarterback. You have a young rookie quarterback. You need to get him some rhythm and get him going. Now you're putting him in a situation where he's got to go deep.
Chad Kelly dropping back, and the rush gets there, and down goes Kelly. Ingram with the sack. And Denver is going to have to punt. And, Bomber, you can hear the Boo Birds already out here in Denver. I think that one might be directed at the fullback who just stone-cold dropped what was an easy first down. He could have gone all the way. Instead, Denver's going to be forced to punt, and LA has an opportunity here to really break this game open if they can put some points on the board. So they're going to have nice field position around the 37-yard line.
The only way, a dislocated ankle for Virgil Green, it looks like he said he will not be able to return for this game. So, you know, you're looking at this game right now, you're saying, okay, this is an opportunity for LA to extend their lead, go up 3 scores. I'm thinking if I'm the Denver defense, such a talented defense, it is time now to make a play as the complete
Brandon
opposite
Oliver
is happening
right
right
up
now.
the gut. Look at him go. Brandon Oliver already over 100 yards on 4 carries. He's up to the 28-yard line and making a big push to be the starting back in LA.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. This is just so poor defense from a team that you thought they brought the D back in Denver, but now they're looking like the Denver Nuggets. They can't stop anything. The Denver Broncos, excuse me. They can't stop anything right now, and their defense is just looking bad. Even open field tackling is
what
poor.
A spin.
Wow. The spin cycle is alive and well in Los Angeles, and Denver's looking pathetic on defense. It's whatever you want. I said 2 to 3 steps ahead. It's looking more like 5 to 6.
I think maybe if you're a Denver fan, do you wish the Denver Nuggets were on the field on defense? Because I feel like they might be doing a better job, as LA's been able to do whatever they want on the offensive side of the ball. And now they're on the 7-yard line looking to add more as they hand it off to the fullback, Watt, trying to find something going. He gets 2 yards on that one, going to bring up a second goal from the 5-yard line.
Yeah, this Denver defense has to create turnovers. I need 2 to 3 a game, especially if Chad Kelly's going to be our quarterback. You know he's not going to be able to be consistent for us early on this season. The defense has to do a lot, and they're talented enough to do so. We just haven't seen it this game.
2nd and goal for the Chargers as Rivers quick 3-step drop, and finally Denver's able to get some pressure. Bradley Roby with the sack on that play, going to bring up a 3rd and goal, and that's something we haven't seen from the Denver Broncos. They've been willing to drop back, but they really haven't brought a whole lot of heat, and they finally bring a blitz and are able to get some pressure on Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with that. Cover 0 heat is good for this team. This is what this team needs to do when they have a cornerback and safety core that is so strong. You know, like I said earlier, Talib, Harris Jr., and Roby, you got to give those guys an opportunity to make a play, as it looks like a drop in the end zone, 4th and goal.
Just an overthrow, went right through his hands.
An overthrow for the Los Angeles Chargers.
But they're going to get more points out of this drive. They're going to extend their lead to 17 as we're heading towards the 4th quarter. And now we're getting into neither side of the ball has worked together on the Denver side. It seems like every time the offense has been going, the defense gives up points. Now the defense finally getting something going. They're able to hold LA to 2 field goals, but the Denver offense, outside of the first 2 drives, really has fallen apart. And I don't want to put the blame on Chad Kelly, Bomber. I feel like the play calling has really gone downhill since the first half.
Yeah, it's almost like they're trying to protect him, and they protected him with the idea that the defense would create 1 to 2, 3 turnovers and allow them to stay in this game by running the ball, but it hasn't been the case. So they need to open up their playbook and allow Chad Kelly to throw the ball down the field.
Kelly dropping back to pass here on 1st and 10, and he's going to be intercepted. What a nice play there by Brown, and Brown's got a lot of room, and this game has been blown open. The Chargers with a defensive touchdown. Welcome to the NBL, Chad Kelly. You've just thrown a touchdown to the other team's 2nd pick of the day for the Chargers defense. As the kick is up, and it is good, and the route is on, Bomber. It is 34-10, and things are not looking good in the Mile High City.
Yeah, it's not looking good for the Chad Kelly guys that say, man, I'm a Chad Kelly guy. He should be starting on this team. I haven't seen it. I mean, I saw a couple good throws, but for the most part, I've seen throws just kind of off target. You know, you had your man beat right there. He had a step and a half on him, and you kind of throw it behind him to the back shoulder, allows the defense to come in and make a play, and ends up being a pick 6. These are precision kind of things that this quarterback has to overcome in order to be successful in this league.
Yeah, but really all 3 phases of the game, LA has been the better team. As Kelly dropping back to pass here on 1st and 10, they need to get some points in quickly as he tosses this underneath for a 7-yard gain, 6-yard gain, going to bring up a 2nd and 4. But really, there's been no part of this team that has looked good, Bomber. The offense has struggled. The rushing game hasn't gotten going. The offensive line has not done a good job of opening holes for that rushing game. And then you just look at the defense, and the defense has been, frankly, a disaster as Philip Rivers has been able to carve it apart. If you were looking for a team that was well prepared, Denver, you thought starting at home they'd maybe get something going. We haven't seen it today.
Yeah, if we look at the defense and then we look at C.J. Anderson, the running game, as he gets a big run here up the middle, wide open.
Well, of course, once I mentioned it, C.J. Anderson finally gets a holder on through.
And that's how it always ends up. But if you look at this defense and you look at the running attack and then you look at Chad Kelly, I would say who performed the best out of those 3 would probably be Chad Kelly.
Yeah.
And that's not saying he had a good game. That's more or less saying that's how bad this defense has been, especially if I add into the expectations I had for this defense coming into this season opener.
We've hit the 4th quarter, folks, and the route is on LA on top 34-10. Denver with the ball. LA looking to take hold of the AFC West in this early AFC West matchup. And we want to remind everybody, hit that subscribe button down below so you know every time that we go live, we'll have NBL live games throughout the season. I think right now we have on the schedule, I want to say 14 games scheduled plus the 12 games scheduled plus the 3 flex games at the end, plus all of our playoff coverage and our live podcast and shows like that. So if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the great NBL coverages. Kelly off target on that one. Could not find Sanders over the left side. It's going to be a 2nd and 10 for the Denver Broncos. Looking to just get any positives out of this game.
Yeah, and as they ask more from Chad Kelly, he shows us less. We saw a little bit more early in the game when the running was still a threat. It was 0-0, then it went to be about 10-3. He still had the threat of running the ball. Right now, they're just playing some pass coverage, and they seem to be eating him up. He just does not seem ready to be a starter in the Madden Bomber League.
Kelly dropping back to pass here on 2nd and 10, and he throws his 3rd interception of the day. Tochu with the pick, and he is trying to get going. Look at him break tackles on the right side of the field. Out of bounds at the 45-yard line. The Boo Birds are in full force here in the Mile High City. LA looking like clearly the better team. And now you got to look forward for the Denver Broncos. I mean, you start to question, was the choice go? I mean, we knew the quarterback situation in Denver was going to be rough. There's not a lot of talent at the quarterback position. Was Chad Kelly the right choice to start this game? Or was there ever a chance for this team to win behind somebody else?
I don't know. I'd have to see the other quarterbacks play, but right now, if he beat those guys out, I can only imagine they only would perform worse in this situation. But notice all the throws over the middle of the field, the interceptions, they cleaned it up in the second half. Los Angeles decided, you know what, we're going to protect the middle of the field, and we're going to do some user lurking, and it got some interceptions. And, you know, the guy, you know, that it falls on is Chad Kelly. You know, you can't just look over the middle of the field all game. You have to look over the sidelines. You have to look to the flats. As it looks like another injury.
Philip Rivers.
For Philip Rivers. Wow, that could be on
a run play nonetheless.
Wow. That could be big.
Now coming into the game, it looks like that's Cardale Jones. Is that who the backup is here in San Diego? Handoff on 3rd and 4. Brent Oliver, big hole. You got to think if you're Denver, it's going to be a run play at this point. No Melvin Gordon, but it's the 4th quarter. They're up by 24. And for some reason, Denver just sends 4 on a rush and runs straight up man defense. No blitz coming as Oliver's able to get a big hole. But the news is we got to see what happened to Phillip Rivers on that play. It looked like he handed the ball off and went for a block and goes down in the backfield here. First and 10 is going to be a toss play to Brandon Oliver, and he gets blown up in the backfield. And Phillip Rivers, just a little elbow injury, and it looks like they're going to be sending him back in. Surprising. I'm surprised they're sending Phillip Rivers back into the game. I know that those elbow injuries, they're saying just a mild sprain, just a little stinger, but would you even risk putting your starting quarterback back in the game when you're up 24?
No, 34-10. You got to let it go, but Phillip's about to make a really nice completion here.
To Mike Williams.
To Mike Williams, wide open. He kind of waited a little bit too long for my liking on that as well, but the protection was so good. He could have done it, but Phillip, bringing him back in. They're up 24 points, 4:30 left.
They're testing that elbow with that deep shot.
And there you go. Maybe just a little stinger for Phillip Rivers, and he comes back in. So Cardell Jones does a couple snaps. They run the ball, and back comes Phillip Rivers, and he makes a throw to say, hey, I'm not done passing just yet.
The third member of this rushing crew we have seen, Barner, comes into the game. He gets 6 yards to go. And this LA offensive line, Bomber, I've been incredibly impressed as they have been able to really dominate a Denver defensive line that may not be the best in the NBL, but is still very talented, and LA's had their way with them.
Yeah, they have. This is a division rivalry game as well, so both teams come to play for these games, and we haven't seen anything from the Denver Broncos defense to say that they're a top team in this league.
Trying the back shoulder fade, and it's intercepted by the Broncos. Finally, this doubted secondary gets a turnover. Aqib Talib gets the pick there. 34-10, though. Maybe too little too late. They went for the back shoulder fade, and Phillip Rivers, I don't know if that elbow was bothering him, but he just straight up underthrew that one.
It looks like we got a comeback here, boys. Only down. Absolutely kidding. I have no faith in Chad Kelly at this point, but you never know. 24 points, a quick score. Things could get pretty crazy. Over the middle of the field, he goes back to his favorite tree to look for. It's a post over the middle of the field. 10 for 20, 126 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. 50% completion. Wasn't he just 8 for 11 to start the game?
Yes. Well,
what a downfall.
If you've noticed, of his last 5 passes, 3 have gone to the other team, and that's not what you're looking for. As Chad Kelly sets up the screen to C.J. Anderson, as he's going to break a tackle, doesn't get past the second one, but he has a first down, 11 to 21, 180 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions for Chad Kelly. Maybe some first-week jitters. We'll see what he does. This L.A. Chargers team, though, I mean, part of it is I don't think Denver's played very well, but the L.A. Chargers have played a very, very good game, and they may be a sneaky team in the AFC.
And a hashtag starting to pop up in the chat right now. Hashtag BIK means believe in Kelly. So I guess there are some people out there that are just going to believe in Chad Kelly no matter what they see on the...
Oh, he throws it...
Wow.
Oh, he had a man, and it looked like they ran into each other. They were just trying to find some open space, and that looked like it was Emmanuel Sanders running into Anderson over the middle of the field. That's sort of been, though, a little scope of what this game has been, Bomber. The Denver Broncos, their timing has not been very good, and it seems like everybody's not on the same page.
Yeah, and it just all seems a little off. You had training camp. I know you got a rookie quarterback, but you should have been able to iron some of these things out in preseason, and I just don't see it right now.
Kelly dropping back to pass here on 2nd and 10, looking underneath, and he just straight up misses on that one as it looks like one of the offensive linemen for Denver out with a little hip injury. They're just going to pull him out of the game here, make sure they don't injure that hip a little more. 34-10, LA on top. I think everyone expected LA to come out on top of this game. I don't think anybody expected it to be that poor as, yeah, that's fun. 305
and that's going to do it?
Yeah, 305 left, and you get a lovely little Madden DC. Starting off Madden 18 with a bang, folks.
Well, we can still pick the player of the game. That game was essentially over anyways. NBL Live broadcast number 120.
It's not Chad Kelly, is it?
Absolutely not. Hashtag BIK is going to have to wait a little bit.
Well, the player I keep going to, I mean, Phillip Rivers proved a lot today. I think this was a guy who... people said, is he too old to be a solid quarterback? And I think Phillip Rivers proved that he's still a top 15 quarterback. And this Denver Broncos defense is very talented, and he picked them apart. He's very good. Or you could also go with Brandon Oliver. He didn't have a ton of carries in this game, but he had a ton of yards, up over 120. Palmer, what are you thinking?
Oh, man, I think we have to go with the halfback. I don't think we can
Oliver?
go away from it. Oliver had a big carry at the beginning of the game. He was solid throughout the game. I can think of 2 or 3 more runs that went 10-plus yards. So I think we go with Brandon Oliver in the 24-point win, the 34-10?
Yeah.
Puts the LA Chargers over the Denver Broncos, and they're going to start the season off 1-0.
Yeah, Brandon Oliver, your NBL Live Player of the Game. And if you want to check out the archive of all of our NBL Live Player of the Game selections, head over to our website, 365.maddenbomberleague.com. And under the NBL Live tab, you can check out all of the Player of the Games all the way back to broadcast number 1. And before we get out of here, let's throw up that NBL Live schedule. No game week 2. Labor Day is off, but week 3, we have an interesting matchup between 2 guys. One guy switching teams. It was one of the big surprises of the team selection show. Unisolated, switching from the New England Patriots over to the Jacksonville Jaguars. He'll be taking on Hound and the Baltimore Ravens. Hound sticking in Baltimore, that 32 pick in team selection. He didn't really get to stick with them. They were pretty much thrown at him, and they stuck to him. Should be an interesting game, though, Bomber. 2 guys looking to prove a lot here in Season 26.
Absolutely. We can expect that game sometime mid-week. Probably Wednesday, I'd say, sometime about that for the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Baltimore
Tuesday
Ravens.
or Wednesday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, Tuesday or Wednesday. That'll be on the NBL weekly update on Monday. We'll release what time that game is, what date and time, but it'll be at 7 o'clock for sure, either Tuesday or Wednesday. We hope you'll join us. Hit that subscribe button so you know when we go live. But that's going to do it for week 1. Bomber, Madden 18 officially underway here in the NBL. We're through week 1. Lots of weeks to go, but I think if week 1 is any indication of how this season's going to go, we have some interesting competition up ahead.
Yeah, we do, and it's going to be great going down the stretch. New Madden, so obviously a new cycle, new competition, new ways to play the game. The route trees are so much more advanced this Madden, so we're really excited. It should make for a better viewing and a better experience playing, so we're really excited to get NBL Season 26 underway with this kickoff show. We only got games coming down. Look, week 2 all the way till week 8, we got games, and then week 10 all the way till week 14, and then we'll have 15, 16, and 17. They're going to be based upon playoff implications, so we're going to have some great games.
It should be a lot of fun. We hope you'll join us for future NBL Live games. We appreciate everybody tuning in. For my co-host, Bomber, I'm OSU. The Los Angeles Chargers coming out with a big win here in the AFC West here on NBL Live Week 1. We'll see you for some Week 3 action. Jaguars and Ravens right here on NBL Live.